Rose Tang saw a lot of this up close and personal. She was among the protesters in Tiananmen Square all those years ago, and she joins me now live from our New York bureau. Rose Tang, thanks for being with us. You rode your bicycle kilometers and kilometers to get to Tiananmen Square. One of the things you were quoted as saying is you went there that day to die. You left a note in case you were killed. What did the note say?
The note was for my boyfriend. It was a very short note because I had no time and I didn't want him to see it. I asked my roommate to, if I did not return the next day, give it to him. And in the note I said, I love you very much. Please remember those heavenly days. Farewell.
You didn't have to give him the note because you survived, and what we were showing our viewers was CNN footage of that June day of you as a 20-year-old in Tiananmen Square. You've returned to China since?
Yes, many times. As a matter of fact, I worked as a journalist. Being in Tiananmen prompted me to become a journalist because I wanted to expose the truth of China to the world. I thought I had some advantage being Chinese and working in the English language media. In fact, I worked for CNN for 3 years, about 10 years ago.
But you weren't worried about your personal safety because you'd been filmed and your face was clearly visible on that footage as having been part of the uprising in Tiananmen Square?
I wasn't famous. I wasn't a famous student leader, even though I was a leader, one of the leaders of my college. I was also lucky because I wasn't sure whom the crew was representing. As soon as the interview was done, I asked them to leave as soon as possible and conceal their tapes. But another person, a Chinese man who was interviewed by Associated Press, he ended up being jailed for 14 years. But I wasn't afraid of returning to China. Yeah. Every time when I returned to China, undercover, usually on a tourist visa, as a reporter, I worked for radio and television and print and .coms, and every time I was prepared to be jailed, but I just thought it was worth it.
One of the things you wrote on this anniversary today, Rose, is for 25 years, I didn't allow myself to remember or feel the pain. But recently, I broke down in front of a therapist. Can you tell us why for 25 years you think it was the right idea to suppress it, and what changed that 25 years later you're ready to talk about it now?
Because for the last 25 years, I've been living in the massacre every day without realizing it. And the pain was there, but I just thought the pain for myself was not important. It was more important to report other people's pains and other people's stories, because their pain is much greater than mine. And as a journalist, I had to be objective. I had to hide my emotions and tell their stories, not mine.
So how do you feel on this day?
Very heavy because I
was going to say, just sorry to jump in, watching the footage, because the footage isn't just strangers participating in an uprising, it's also you as a 20-year-old, your 20-year-old self.
For me, that 20-year-old girl wearing a thinner red hairband, dressed in black, with a dagger in her pocket, willing to die, that girl really died in Tiananmen Square that morning, and I left myself there, along with the other bodies and the debris. I think a new me was born because a new me has a sense of mission, because I carry all those dead souls on my back and trying to do something to help them and to help China. But in fact, for the last 25 years, I realized the massacres have never stopped. It's been happening everywhere in Tibet and East Turkestan, which is China's, they call it Xinjiang, and a lot of killings, and the society has become more violent, and China has become more of a police state because Xi Jinping has earned himself a nickname as Hitler, because he's really like a Hitler. making China a Nazi regime.